Michigan takes down USC. Blaine, got to give you your flowers.
Yeah.
You called this one. You called this one like a girlfriend in high school, buddy. But David, just your quick thoughts on the game as we go round table.
I really think since Blaine picked him, you go ahead. You tell us what you thought first, man. You picked.
I love it.
You believe. This is the thing. I said this the entire week. I don't think we didn't knew as much as we thought we did after USC played LSU. It's a different brand of football, what LSU played. We got told the entire offseason that LSU's offensive line from the run game standpoint is just going to push people around. And I don't think we've seen that yet. But I do know one team, okay, that will push you around in the run game, and that's the Michigan Wolverines. And trust me, a lot of factors had to go into this for Michigan to win this game. The first thing is turnovers, right? It's turnovers, and it's a huge deal. The first half Michigan team to the second half Michigan team, it's completely different to me. And the thing about it, you point out, is this: as bad as you played in that second half, you found a way to win the football game. That says a lot about the players, the culture, and what Sharon Moore's got going over there. And I think you found your quarterback. I think you found your identity and who you are. We're going to run the football 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards until we can break big plays. And you saw that. You saw it's going to be a title fight, guys. It's going to be a 9-round fight. How many body blows can you take? And USC couldn't take enough. And that defense, okay, you run the ball and don't turn it over, and you let that defense go play, right? And that's the result you get in most of these games. So that's what I saw. I called it a trap game all week. You're in Ann Arbor, new quarterback. These guys are excited. So all the ingredients added up to a win there.
Well, it was the true definition of a tale of two different halves. That first half of Michigan football was what we thought preseason. If we got that from Michigan, it's not crazy for them to be a college football playoff contender. Maybe not a national champion if you can't throw the ball any better than that, but certainly you can win 9 games, 10 games in Sharon Moore's first year, despite Jim Harbaugh going back to the NFL. Now, far from perfect, right? But they were controlling the line of scrimmage. They were controlling field position. They were suffocating on defense, especially in the red zone. And then the second half rolls around and you go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 1 play fumble. You got a pick 6 to help you out, but then miss the PAT. And then on defense, you give up touchdowns on 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 16. The same things we've been talking about. Can't get off the field on defense in zone coverage. All right. And then when you needed it most, a 90-yard drive when you throw the football one time, Kalel Mullings just saved him, absolutely saved him. 4th down, off tackle, ISO. Like, that's a gutsy performance. That's a gutsy win from a football team that may not be a great team, may not make the college football playoff. But, man, you have to give them their flowers and say when they needed it most, they got the football in the right players' hands without Colston Loveland and without Will Johnson after that pick 6. He went off the field. Without 2 of your best players, you found a way to win. What more can you say about a football team?
You know, I think there's a freedom to being who you really are. You know, it's one thing when you're in middle school and high school and your parents go buy you clothes that you don't like because they think they, you know, make you look preppy and like everybody else, but you just want to wear your old jeans. You just want to wear your old shirt. You want to be yourself. That's what it looked like to me from Michigan yesterday. It looked like they finally were like, you know what? We're not going to be able to throw it around. We're not going to be this sexy offense that makes super explosive plays. Here's who we are. We're Alex Orji at quarterback. We're going to throw 12 passes and not get 32 yards. But what we are going to do is give it to Khalil Mullings, who should have been on the cover of the NCAA video game 17 times for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. We're going to give it to Donovan Edwards, who was on the cover of the NCAA video game 14 times for 74 yards and a touchdown. We're going to let Orji run at 13. God, they had 3 guys that had over 13 carries. Okay, yeah. This is who you are. I said earlier in the week, Sharon Moore made the decision. He went back and he looked at the film and he said, you know what? We can't throw it. And if we're not going to be able to throw it to our team, we're damn sure not going to throw it to the other team. So, Alex, get your ass in the backfield. We're going to throw now screens and swings and maybe a couple of digs. And what did they do? I think when also they looked at the tape on USC and LSU, another thing we talked about all week, and we knew they were going to do it, was that Miller Moss will take chances. Yeah. It gives you the highest of highs, including that incredible hole shot against cover 2 he threw to take the lead. I don't think people realize how good of a throw that was. Michigan was baiting him to do it. Not only did he do it, he completed it. All right, against a really good defense. But those chances he got away with against LSU, couple fumbles, right? Couple balls he put into traffic that didn't get picked. Well, what happened? Will eventually got you. He got you on one of them. So you got to live with the sword. You got to die with the sword, pun intended, if you're USC. And I don't think USC's defense is bad. I think Michigan was a battering ram, and eventually they popped at the end. That game early went exactly, the first half went exactly like Michigan had to have it go. USC's offense was in hell. Miller Moss could not get the ball off. I would love to see the blitz percentage of Wink Martindale, David, because I don't think it was as high, but the one time he did it, USC scored a touchdown. Yeah, so it just, that looked like what I thought Michigan, the plan was going to be with Orji at quarterback when we heard he was going to be the guy at fall camp, when we saw him try and throw the ball in the first game. So, look, is Michigan a national championship winning team? I don't think so. But if they're going to be able to play like that, and have people have to start adopting what they do, and I know the second half was higher scoring, they're going to have a chance. But there is a freedom in being yourself. Like Drake said, you know it's real when you are who you thought you were.
Well, a couple things to forecast for both teams. One, for USC, I don't believe they're fraudulent. I still think that's a really good football team who played a great game. I think they're going to be better than a lot of people had in preseason. I still think they're going to be a problem in the Big Ten moving forward. I don't think this is some West Coast LA team who can't compete in this conference or anything just because they went to Ann Arbor and couldn't play bully ball yesterday. For Michigan moving forward, get ready for this every week. Like, if you're going to win games, you're going to have to win them 27-24. If you can't throw the football downfield any better than that, you're not going to be blowing teams out, and that's fine. Like, look, take wins however you can get them. One thing, though, that when Michigan was their best these last 3 seasons, if one half was glaringly better than the other half, when was it? It was always the second half, because Jim Harbaugh and Jesse Minter and those guys would come in and make halftime adjustments so well they'd play the second half better. So if you go back and you look at the tape of this game, and you're like, finally, we put together our best half of football all season in the first half, and then sort of fell apart in the second half until that final drive. That's something you're going to have to get figured out, because you want to be playing the best ball when you make your adjustments.
Yep. All right, Blaine, let's get to the chat.
All right, let's go to Crane & Co. memes. What's up, brother? How did both Desmond and Howard and Cone pick USC?
They should thank us.
Cone, I'm disappointed.
Why? They should thank us. I wasn't going to be the jinx. Did you see Kirk Herbstreit went over there and checked Desmond's temperature after he picked USC? I've never seen that.
I didn't see it.
All right, let's go to Brady J. Says, how bad of a look is this for Lincoln Riley losing to a team with only 32 passing yards?
Yeah.
Well, again, I don't think it's that bad of a look. I mean, when you go up and lose to Michigan in the Big House on 4th down and goal, like with 35 seconds, I mean, it's not like they went up there and got beat down. It would have been a bad look if they went up there and it was like, oh no, that defense really is fraudulent. I don't think the defense is fraudulent. Is it as good maybe as we thought after the LSU game? No, but I still think it's better than what Lincoln Riley has had. I mean, if you're going to make a complaint, I think the lack of protection up front, which one of the things Lincoln Riley does best in that run game, he gives you a lot of gap scheme runs, and then the play action off the gap scheme runs slows down the defense. But they got into a lot of third and passing early, and Michigan was able to pin their ears back and go get Miller Moss. I mean, he ended up 28-51. That's not good enough from a completion percentage to beat a team like Michigan, and yet you still had a chance to stop them at the end and win the game. So if you're a USC fan, yeah, you're disappointed in the loss. But there's a huge difference in between being a USC fan and losing a game like that and being an Auburn fan and losing a game like they did, or being an NC State fan and losing a game like they did. USC is going to have a chance in some of these big games they're playing down the stretch. So I wouldn't say it's a bad look.
If you take away the pick six, they win that game.
Yeah. I mean, it was a tight game in a tough environment.
If you're a Miami fan, please shut up. I picked you by win by 40 points, so obviously y'all have no idea what you're talking about. Let's go to a
How did you feel about that? Because they went 28-0 in the second half, right?
Yeah, killed them. Exactly
Because
what I thought would happen.
you
I
had Miami huge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you had
Miami minus 16 and a half.
Yeah.
Whatever Miami fans in the chat saying that all of us picked USF to win. I don't know what world you're living in, but I said y'all were one of the best bets on the board. So just if you don't watch the show, then shut up.
Yeah, I literally tweeted out. Blaine asked if a team outside of the SEC or Big Ten can win a national championship. I retweeted Miami. Listen, don't screw it up by showing that you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
Watch what we say, you
I've got y'all 11-1. I've got y'all 11-1.
Blaine put like $1,000. Blaine put like $1,000 on you guys minus 16.5 and Tennessee minus 6.5 yesterday.
You hit the $1,000 bet on them?
I had a $2,800 two-leg parlay on Miami minus 13.5 and Tennessee minus 6.5. And I said Miami was one of the
picked USF.
What a hit.
I don't know. Like, I literally have no idea. I don't think anybody on the show picked USF to win this football game. So obviously they have no clue.
What in God's name are you?
Let's go to a $5 donation from Justin. Justin, thank you, brother. Was at the USC-Michigan game, and I'm still shocked that USC did not look at the line, daring Alex Orji to throw the ball. What do y'all think?
Well, they kind of did.
Yeah, I mean, they tried. Look, Michigan was getting in heavy personnel. I mean, it was like, even with Colson Loveland out, it wasn't like they were just getting in empty and running quarterback draw, or just getting in 10 personnel and running doubles the whole time. No, I thought it was big on big, man. That's the way it looked to me. I mean, that was not for the faint of heart. Now, that's not to say that Michigan just ran in the B gap the whole game. Obviously, that they worked laterally in some of the zone runs as well. But, I mean, I thought it was a fair fight numbers-wise. I didn't think it was leaning either way.
Two more things for Michigan's run game for you guys. I've been telling y'all for weeks, Kalel Mullings needs to be the primary back. Maybe not the starter because, Donovan Edwards has earned that. You let him run out there on the field first. And he had a big-time run, too. Like, we needed everything that he delivered. But when the game was on the line, who'd they put the football in the hands?
They went to Mullings.
Kalel Mullings. And one other thing with Alex Orji, I'm a little surprised they're not using more zone read with him. You saw when he ran, especially around the ends, it was, Q power, Q sweep, that kind of stuff. Or it was straight handoff on that final drive. I'm surprised he's not reading the defensive end to pull that ball a little more.
Yeah, or at least, making it look like you're reading him so you can be a decoy and hold him on the backside, which you get kind of the same effect and value at the end of the day.